Hello, and welcome to another episode of Level Die. My name is Nick, and today I will be talking about the best mobile game out right now, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. This week's episode is not sponsored by Lagavulin Summer Shandy, the perfect summer beer. And also not sponsored by Hanes Socks, the only socks I trust to cover my microphone. Let's get to it, dogs. That was horrible. We're going to keep it in. What is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links? Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is a modified version of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Playset built for mobile. And when this game first came out, it was a few years ago. I think they just celebrated their 2-year anniversary this year. So 2 years ago when the game came out, I got it. I played the absolute shit out of it. And I only stopped playing because I got a new phone and I forgot my login to it. And before I forgot the login to that phone, the old phone, I didn't set up my data transfer. So I lost like 9 months worth of cards and character unlocks and things like that. So I sort of dreaded coming back to it. But I don't know, for some reason, earlier this year, probably like 2 months ago, I just decided, fuck it, I'm going to get it again. You know, it's been long enough. I've been wanting to play it. I should play it. Boy, I was not disappointed because I have not stopped playing it. I play it every day now. I play it while I'm at work. I play it while I shit. I play it while I eat. I love it. I'm so into it. I may have mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! A few times on this podcast before, just in passing, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Was my childhood, for lack of a better word. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched the show. I had cards. Everyone in my neighborhood used to duel. It was awesome. It was just the coolest shit. So the fact that I could play Yu-Gi-Oh! On the go was really, really cool to me. And excuse me, I'm always sick. I'm forever sick. It was not just like, so there's another Yu-Gi-Oh! Game on mobile called Duel Generation, which is you just duel characters from the show, you buy packs, you make decks, that's all you fucking do. In Duel Links, you unlock characters from the show that have abilities pertaining to the way that they were in the show. So Yugi, he has abilities that like enhance dark monsters. So you would build decks around like the Dark Magician and Fiends and stuff like that, like the decks he used in the show. Kaiba has dragon-based decks or decks that or skills that utilize high monster values, so like 5-star plus monsters, which he's known to do in the show. You know, his ace in the whole card was Blue Eyes. So, you know, there's these skills that each character that you unlock can use. My favorite character is Bandit Keith. His ability Switcheroo is really good. What it allows you to do when your health is reduced by 1,500 points. And I'm going to get into all of this, HP, how the game plays, stuff like that. I just want to give you a little overview first. So after your health goes down by 1,500, you can take a card from your hand, put it in the deck, and then draw a new card from the top of the deck after the deck is shuffled. And it's kind of fucking clutch. Like sometimes you are on the verge of getting your ass handed to you and you kind of need like a destiny draw. You need the heart of the cards, you know? And Bandit Keith has always been known to be a cheating piece of shit. And I love that he has that ability. And it has saved my buns more than a few times. What the hell was that? Oh, yeah. You may be a victim of software counterfeiting. I am, but you'll never catch me. So, and they added so when the game first came out, all they had was the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters show. You could unlock a handful of characters from it, and that was pretty sweet. So it was really like new and original. I really liked being able to play as characters from the show. I think both times I've had the game, I started with Kaiba. I didn't want to be Yugi. I don't know. For some reason, I guess. I just didn't want to be Yugi. But so as you progress through, so here's the setup of the game. So let's start from the beginning here. What the fuck is Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh is a children's card game where you use monsters, traps, and spells to battle your opponent and reduce their life points to 0 or win through a handful of other specific ways and defeat them. In the show, there's like lots of magic and shit. It's really cool. I'm gonna do an actual episode on the Duel Monsters show soon, because I really want to talk about that show that I like. So, how is Duel Links different from regular Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, there's less spaces on the board for cards. They took off 2 monster slots and 2 trap/spell card slots. So it's 3 and 3 instead of 5 and 5. And if you go second, so if you are second to go at the beginning of the match, your monsters can attack instantly. Typically, they had a summoning sickness where it would take a turn for them to be used. I'm fairly certain. I think that was I'm pretty sure that's right. It might be wrong, though. Oh, well. But it's faster, it's smoother, and it's just simpler. In the original, they basically had ritual summons and some fusion summons. And then they added, as the years went on, they added GX, which is the second season of Yu-Gi-Oh!, and they added 5Ds, which is the third season of Yu-Gi-Oh!, and those added different ways of summoning monsters. GX focused on fusion summoning, and 5Ds was the focus. Synchro summons were the focus. So what does all of that mean? There's a few different ways to summon monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a normal summon, where you place a card face up in attack position, facing your opponent, ready to go. There is setting a card, where you place it face down in defensive position, so the opponent doesn't know what the card is. Cards like that could typically have a flip effect, where if the card is flipped face up, an effect will activate. Maybe like the most famous one is Man-Eater Bug. And the ability of Man-Eater Bug is when it is flipped face up, you can destroy one monster on the field, which is fucking wild. I'm pretty sure it's limited and or banned. So, normal summon, set. You also have tribute summoning. So there are levels of monsters from 1 to 12, which is a fuck ton. You don't see very many level 10s and 12s. Those are basically fuck you stupid cards that are super strong and ridiculous, like the Egyptian god cards or something. 1 through 4 can be normal summoned or set with no sacrifices. 5 to 6 require, and this is level 5 to 6 require 1 sacrifice. 7 to 9, I believe, require 2 sacrifices. And then 10 plus require 3. So what happens is you would need monsters on your field. So 1, 2, or 3 monsters need to be on your field, and then the next turn, or on a turn where you can summon. So you can only summon 1 monster at a time normally, or tribute. and then we'll talk about special summoning in a minute. So if you have the 1, 2, or 3 monsters, you would basically delete one of the 1, 2, or 3 of those monsters to get out a new monster that's more powerful, typically, than the 3 monsters that you already had. There's special summoning. There's a few different methods of special summoning. Special summoning allows you to, on the turn that you've already normal summoned, which is the normal summon, set, or tribute summon, it allows you to summon an additional monster. So here's an example. There is a deck that I run in Duel Links called the 6 Samurai deck. There is an ultra rare card I have in my deck. Yes, I'm flexing my E-Peen at you right now. There is an ultra rare card that I have in my 6 Sam deck that and the effect of this card is if there is another card on the field with a 6 Samurai name, you can special summon that card from your hand. So basically, and then I have another ultra rare card in my deck that has a similar effect, but the effect is if there are 2 6 Samurai monsters on the field that have different names but have the 6 Samurai sort of title, so like 6 Samurai Inishi and 6 Samurai Gemba. If I have both of those, I can special summon this level 7 monster, which would typically require 2 tribute summons for free on a turn that I've already normal summoned. Crazy, right? So sometimes, I think I actually have this replay saved on my phone, I might get like the God Hand, in my opinion, which is a really good level 4 6 Samurai monster. The Samurai that lets me special summon if I have one on the field, and then the Shien, which is the one that lets me special summon if I have 2 6 Samurais in the field. So basically what I would do is I would normal summon one monster, special summon the one that allows me to do it with 1, and then special summon the one that allows me to do it with 2. And then my attack power is over 5,000 turn 1. And basically, if they don't wipe the board, I win next turn. And I've actually had that happen. It's fucking incredible. So that is special summoning. Now we have ritual summoning, which requires a ritual card. So the Black Luster ritual, or I don't remember the ritual for relinquished. Let's just say Black Luster. The Black Luster ritual. So what is ritual summoning? You have to have the ritual summoning card, and you have to have the ritual monster in your hand at the same time. That's what makes them difficult. Then, after activating the ritual spell, and you can only activate the ritual spell when you meet the requirements. To ritual summon, you have to have an amount of monsters whose levels are equal to or greater than the amount of levels required for the ritual summon. So I think Black Luster is 7 or 8. So that means that you need to have monsters in your hand or on the field that are equal to or greater than 7 or 8. I don't remember which one it is. Then you can use the spell card. You can summon Black Luster Soldier, and that counts as sort of a special summon, and you can do that the same turn that you normal summon. There are fusion summons. Fusion summons are very specific. So the way that you fusion summon is you have a monster on the field or in your 2 monsters on the field or in your hand. You have a specific monster in your extra deck, which is a side deck specifically used for summonings of this kind, fusion and synchro. And I'll get into synchro next. So, an example. Flame Hero Wingman? Flame Hero Wingman. Hero Flame Wingman. That's what his fucking name is. He requires Hero Burstinatrix and Hero Wingman and a polymerization spell or something of equivalent value, basically, which means you need a spell card that specifically says fuse a monster and fusion summon a monster, basically. Polymerization is the most common one. So you have to have 3 cards in your hand to do a fusion summon and have the cards in your extra deck. So it takes some thought. GX, which is the second season of Yu-Gi-Oh, focused very heavily on fusion summoning. The main character, Jaden Yuki, used a hero deck, which basically he could fusion summon out of any combination of 2 of his hero monsters, which is really cool. I have a hero deck that I'm building right now, and it's actually like really fun to use, especially since they added some spell cards like Mask Change, which lets you essentially fusion summon a monster using 1 material and that spell card as long as they have the same attribute. Very cool. And then we have synchro summoning, which is a special way of summoning where you need to have a tuner monster and a non-tuner monster, and the levels of those 2 monsters need to match exactly a synchro monster in your extra deck. You can also do that form of summoning the same turn that you normal summon a monster. Wowzers. Trap cards. Trap cards are a sort of defensive card that you set face down on the back of your board. So there's the front where your monsters go, and there's the back where your spells and traps go. You would set that card face down. Typically, it takes 1 turn, so you wouldn't be able to set a trap card and then activate it same turn. You have to wait until your opponent's turn, and typically you would use a trap card on your opponent's turn. Here's an example. Mirror Wall. Mirror Force. Let's do Mirror Force. Mirror Force. When a monster attacks, you activate the trap card, Mirror Force, because so basically an action needs to happen that is written on the trap card that will activate the effect of the trap card. The effect is like, when a monster attacks, activate this trap card. So when a monster attacks and you have Mirror Force, flip that bitch, every single monster on your opponent's field is destroyed. It's bananas. It's absolutely bananas. So a trap card is a defensive card that you would typically use to counteract something your opponent might do, like attack you, use a spell card, tribute, special or normal summon. There are even trap cards specifically designed to counter other trap cards. They're called counter traps. Wild. Then we have spell cards. Spell cards do a lot of stuff. They have the ability to fusion summon monsters, like I was saying. Polymerization, that is a spell card. They can deal direct damage to your opponent. So I think there's a spell called Hinotama. Oh, fuck, that's good. Which just deals like 300 effect damage to your opponent, right? Like, pretty weak, but you could build an entire deck around doing that. You could do, like, Mask Change. Mask Change is a spell card. You would use Mask Change on your turn, or even on your opponent's turn. I think it's actually a quick play spell, where you would use it, and it would fusion summon a monster. So there are also field spells, which go on a special slot on the board that allow you to basically enhance your monsters or give a minus to your opponents, and it has a continuous effect as long as the card is on the field. There are also continuous trap and spell cards, which they don't go away after being used once. Their effect is continuous. There are quick play spell cards, which can be played from the hand on your opponent's turn, similar to a trap card, but you don't need to set it first. Those are very strong. I think one of the biggest ones in Duel Links right now is Monster Controller, which allows you it has 2 effects. One, if you can change the attack position of a monster, you can change it from attack to defensive mode. at any time, typically when the opponent is attacking. So you can basically cancel out at one attack, or you can take control of a monster. Crazy. Those are the 3 types of cards. And there are fusion monsters, there are synchro monsters, but those still fall under monsters. And then there are effect monsters and normal monsters. I should have touched on that. Normal monsters have no effects. Effect monsters have a line of text or 600 lines of text on them that give you like, this card cannot be destroyed while blank is on the field, and if blank is on the field, you contribute blank to do blank. Crazy. I mean, there are paragraphs on some of these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It is wild. So that's the basics of Yu-Gi-Oh. Those are the cards. Then you use a culmination of those in a deck against an opponent to try and beat them. There are monsters with different attributes, different skills, different names. Like I was saying, the 6 Samurai deck is sort of an archetype deck where you would build a deck around having a bunch of different 6 samurais in there. I have a Mecha Phantom Beast deck that I'm using right now. That's terrible, but I just like it. I don't know. It's not a very good deck. I don't play meta decks, and what meta means is sort of decks that are designed to just win all the time. They're super unfun. They're just like kind of following like the trends of what everyone else is doing. So like you have a deck with like three versions of you can have a max of 3 of a card in your deck at any time, and some are limited to even less than that if they're too strong. It'll basically be like there's like 4 monsters they have in their deck, and there's 3 copies of each, and then they have like a handful of spell cards at 3 each, and then that's their whole deck. And basically they OTK you, which is 1 turn kill you, or they're just like so unfun to play, and their turns take like 6 minutes, and it's just like, fuck, just let me play the game, dude. Jesus, like my turns do not take this long. So you build decks using cards from packs that you can buy with a premium currency. One of the things I really like about Duel Links is they're very like, what's the right word? They give you the premium currency very easily. You can earn it from leveling up your favorite characters. You can earn it from events in the game. You can earn it from doing duel quizzes or loner deck duels or anything. Duel quizzes are like puzzles where you have to win a match, like win a game in 1 turn using card effects and stuff. Loner deck duels are decks based on card packs that have come out and that you can use in sort of like a practice duel to see if you want to use that deck. And they'll give you premium currency for that. You can even earn premium currency once a day for watching replays of top players. So they're just, and then when I'm pretty sure for the 2-year anniversary, they gave away 2,000 of this premium currency, and a pack is 50. So I was just killing money on packs. I think that's how I got my 6 Sam deck. I literally just spent all 2,000 of that buying packs from this one box so that I could build like a really good 6 Samurai. And now it's basically, if I really want to like win, I'll just put my 6 Samurai deck on. If I don't want to have any fun, I mean, it's super fun to use. The 6 Samurai deck is, I honestly like really like it. I like the effects. I like how all the cards work together. I really enjoy the 6 Samurai deck, and I recommend it for sure if you want to have a deck that can consistently win, but is also fun and the aesthetic is good. A good character to use with it would be Joey Wheeler. One of his abilities, Field of the Warriors, allows you to have at the beginning of the game Sogen, which is a field spell that increases the attack of all warrior type monsters by like 200 or 300, which is great because all of the 6 Samurai monsters are the warrior archetype. So there are a bunch of different archetypes of monsters. There are warriors, dragons, fiends, zombies, plants, machines, fairies, winged beasts, all these different kinds of things. So I actually have I'm a big fan of building themed decks. So my 6 samurai deck, it's a samurai themed deck, and it works together because they share names and they share effects. I have my Mecha Phantom Beast deck, which is they're basically jets, just a bunch of jet planes, and they work well together by summoning tokens, which are these little sort of 0 attack, 0 defense little things that are they're just tokens. I don't know a better like expendable little pawns, basically. And while there are tokens on the field, the cards gain special abilities. I spent 2 weeks building an absolutely terrible deck. I spent tons of premium currency on it trying to build this deck up, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. Oh my God, I am drinking a delicious tequila beverage, and the hashtag not sponsored Lagavulin Summer Shandy, the perfect summer beverage. Delicious. So I called this. So there is an archetype of monster that was released with the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX world in Duel Links called Ojamas. Ojama. They have 0 attack. They have 1,000 defense. They are terrible. But I thought up this weird thing. So there is a field spell called Ojama Country that Chaz Witherspoon or whatever, I don't remember his name, Huntington or something. Chaz it up. He has an ability that lets you start the match with Ojama Country out, which is similar to Joey Wheeler's ability to have the Sogen out. So I was like, okay, so what Ojama Country does is while there is an Ojama monster face up on the field, all attack and defense values of a monster are swapped. What does that mean? That means that my 0 attack, 1,000 defense Ojama now has 1,000 attack and 0 defense. So we switched it. And then the opponent's monsters would have their values switched. Now, I thought up an idea of using a certain spell card called 1,000 Energy. What it does is it enhances a monster, a normal monster, and the Ojamas are normal monsters. They have no effects. The 3 main ones, yellow, green, and black. There's also Ojama Blue, which is an effect monster. And its effect is if it is destroyed by combat and goes to the graveyard, you can pull from your deck 2 cards with the word Ojama in it. So basically, I can pull in 2 more Ojama Blues, 1 and 2 of, 1 and 1 of some Ojamas, some Ojama spell cards, whatever. So I had this idea to use a spell called 1,000 Energy, which gives normal monsters 1,000 additional attack for 1 turn, and then it destroys them. Because I was thinking, well, if I can get my Ojamas out fast enough, I can load the board up with 3 Ojamas with 2,000 attack each, and I can hopefully OTK someone or cause them a lot of grief, because one of the abilities of Ojama Country is if there is an Ojama in your hand and an Ojama in the graveyard, once per turn you can discard an Ojama to the graveyard and summon a card from the graveyard to your field. So basically you can recycle your Ojamas over and over and over again. The only issue with this deck is that the monsters are wicked weak, and you're pulling so many cards out of your deck every turn that you're milling yourself, which means that you are burning through cards at a much faster rate than normal. Typically, you would draw 1 card out of your deck every turn. there are spell and trap cards and monster effects that would make you or your opponent draw more cards than usual. Now, there are certain strategies and certain decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically designed to make your opponent throw his cards away right into the graveyard from his deck. Just boop, boop, boop. Like cards that if you flip affect them. I think there's an insect that Weevil uses where if you flip it face up, 5 cards from your opponent go directly from the top of the deck into the graveyard. Now imagine if they had some really good cards in those 5. They're gone. They're in the graveyard. And some cards allow you to pull from the graveyard and use them, but it's not super common. Specifically, they're typically designed around that, and if they're not, then you're screwing your opponent over. And it's a genuine strategy because if you run out of cards and you have to draw a card and you cannot, you automatically lose. It's called a deck out victory. So legitimate way to win and pretty cool. I've built a few decks like that in my time because I think they're so infuriating. Because basically you just stall your opponent, make them so they can't attack you or negate their attacks, and just slowly make them throw their cards away. Brutal. It's so annoying. Back to my Ojamas. The idea behind the 1,000 energy Ojama deck, which I called the Oja Massacre deck, that's a running theme with the Ojama monsters, where they would mix the Ojama into another word, like Oja Muscle, or there's another one, but I can't remember. So I created Oja Massacre, which it has worked, but it's very rare. It's very rare. Typically, I get annihilated because most decks nowadays are much more powerful than that. But I think the idea behind it is pretty cool, and I kind of want to revisit it and touch it up and kind of modify it because I think it has potential. I think it could be really cool. I think it could be a really cool deck. So I had a lot of fun making that. I wasted like 1,000 premium currency on trying to get like specific cards, like 1,000 energy, and it was just a big waste of time. But it was fun to do it while I was working on it. So what's the flow of Duel Links? Well, there are a bunch of like random NPCs in this sort of, you have like 4 tabs, and in those tabs there's like a little area where people are, not real people, bots, and they have decks, and you click on them and you duel them, and when you duel them you gain XP for your characters, you gain sort of currency that you can use in different ways, like at the gate, which has legendary duelists like Yugi and Bandit Keith and Joey Wheeler that you can duel for specific rewards to them. So if you want to get a second copy of Dark Magician, you can duel Yugi and you have a chance of unlocking that. It'll be like a random drop at the end of your victory or loss. You can still get drops if you lose. And you duel, and there's like levels. So right now I think I'm on like level 22 right now because I was much higher on my first game, but I'm going a lot slower now because there's like so much different. There's so many events going on, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. You duel people. You complete these sort of little missions in your level thing. Like for level 1, it would be like win 5 duels. You do that, you go to level 2. Level 2 would be like win 5 duels, tribute summon 1 monster, and you would do that and you go to level 3, right? So, and they get more and more complex. Like one of them is win 5 consecutive duels. Kind of hard, honestly, because someone can ruin that streak by getting lucky with 1,000 energy on you and just absolutely annihilating you, and it's happened to me multiple times. So that's really cool. It gives you something to work for. And you have character unlock missions where So, like, say you want to play as Espa Roba, a character from the original series of Duel Monsters, the Battle City arc, I believe. For some reason, you want to play as him because you're weird. I don't know why you'd want to, but say you want to. I think maybe because you get Jinzo, and Jinzo is sick. You would complete his mission. So it would be like, own one psychic card. Okay, you get that. You get rid of that mission. It gives you a little reward, probably like an in-game currency that you can use it at the card trader or use at the gate. And if you complete all of his character unlock challenges, you unlock him, and they give you a really terrible deck, and they give you his sort of his legendary card. So sort of his signature. That's what it's called. His signature card. So Bandit Keith's is Barrel Dragon. Yugimoto's or Yami Yugi's is Dark Magician. Kaiba's Blue Eyes. You get the idea. Every person comes with their signature card, and then they come with like a super trash tier deck. So I would recommend, if you are thinking about unlocking a character like Mako Tsunami, who's based around fish, I would recommend purchasing fish monsters before you get him, so that when you do have him, you can build him a really cool deck right away. If you don't, you basically have the most utter garbage tier deck ever. You will not win with the starter deck you get from the people that you unlock. It is impossible. You will not. It has one spell card. It has 19 monsters and 2 of each copy of a bunch of trash tier monsters. I would definitely recommend, especially if you get it during a time where they're giving away a bunch of free premium currency, look either online or through every single box first and think, you know what? I want to build a UA deck, which is the Ultra Athletes or Ultimate Athletes. I don't remember which one. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go for that. And you will buy packs out of this box. And a pack comes with 3 cards of varying rarities. And you can go from normal to ultra rare. There's like a handful of ultra rare cards in each box. And at any time, so say you unlock the ultra rare that you're looking for, and you've unlocked every card that you're looking for. I really like this, especially because it's honestly designed this way so that you spend more of that premium currency, but it does it in like a low-key way where it's not like, hey, you've got 15 minutes until your crops grow. Do you want to spend some money to fucking make it happen instantly? It's not like that. And I really appreciate that. I feel like I'm not being pushed into spending actual money because of how much they give me of the premium currency. Big fan. So say you unlocked all the UA monsters, and I'm mentioning UA specifically right now because I really want to make one, but I don't have the money investment right now to buy from a whole new pack. Or box, I mean. God, that hashtag not sponsored, Lagavulin Summer Shandy is just delicious. Amazing. So you unlock all the cards you want. I've said this 3 times now. You can reset the box. Boop. It'll put every single pack back in. All the cards are available again. So you can go for another round of trying to get that ultra rare UA midfielder so that you can have 3 of them in your deck because it's probably one of your most important cards. And you can do that over and over, so you can build I honestly might do it for the 6 Samurai deck because there's an ultra rare 6 Samurai Synchro monster. Jesus Christ, that alliteration. Wowzers. That is so strong. It's ridiculous. I love it. I think it's legendary 6 Samurai Shien is what his name is. He is a 6-star, 2,500 attack monster that has an effect that allows you to negate 1 activation of a spell or trap card per turn. And if that monster would be destroyed by combat or a card effect, you can destroy a different 6 Samurai monster instead. amazing. Simply amazing. That card has helped me so many times. When somebody is trying to combo me, I can just cancel out like a polymerization or a crazy card effect that's gonna like monster controller. I am pretty sure I can still use his effect. Amazing. So basically, the flow of the game is you duel, and you can duel real people. I haven't said that yet, but you can actually duel real people in this game too, and you can go up against their decks, and they're building decks just like you. They're building a UA deck. They're building a Six Samurai deck. They're building a Red Eyes Black Dragon zombie deck, and you can duel them. It's real people, and it's so cool because that's sort of like the Yu-Gi-Oh experience, right? Like it gets kind of boring fighting the bots because you just wreck them, man. You wreck them until they get really good decks. And since they're giving you so much premium currency, you're able to build really good decks pretty early on. So dueling people is it is like literally like playing a round of Call of Duty. It gets my heart pounding because I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to cancel this dude's next move? This dude is he's doing a big play. Am I going to be able to survive this? I have some card effects. I can summon this next monster, and I'm going to be able to tribute a monster on my field to destroy that monster. And if that works, then the victory's mine. And, I mean, it just gets my mind racing. This is I know I dropped a lot of info on you about spells and traps and monsters and summoning, but there are in-game tutorials that pay you premium currency to learn the effects of cards, to learn what a synchro summon is, to learn what a fusion summon is. And they will pay you money, and it's actual money, basically, to learn how to play the game. If you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you've never even played a card game like this before, you will be able to pick it up because there are tutorials every step of the way. You can go into the help menu and you can look up, different ways to win. If you have like a mission that you're having trouble with, you can click that mission and it will give you information on how to complete that mission. Tribute says like, oh, I have to tribute summon 10 monsters. Oh, what is tribute summoning again? You click it. Like tribute summoning is summoning a monster of a higher level using a monster of a lower level. And it will just tell you, and you can just slowly learn, and you can battle the bots, and you can beat the bots, and you can build your deck up, and then you can get a little serious, and you can go online, and you can fight people, and they're going to wreck you. They are going to wreck you because they are using meta decks. And if you want to do a meta deck, hey man, no shame. It's just not my style. I get obsessed over an idea or an aesthetic of a card. Like right now, I'm going to try and make a Ghost Trick deck, which is trash right now because we're missing an important card that makes Ghost Trick monsters really good. I want to make a UA deck. I just made that Oja Massacre deck that I was telling you about. That is terrible. I spent like 2 weeks doing that. I want to do a plant deck right now. I'm making an Arrow Mage deck just for fun because I just really want to for some reason. I don't know. Speaking of that, I got to go to the card trader. He's selling some Arrow Mage cards right now, and I got to make sure that I get in there. So let's talk about the events. So there is almost always an event going on. What is an event? Well, it's a special sort of thing that goes on for like a week. Right now, we're doing Fantastic Pegasus, which Pegasus just shows up randomly. You can duel him, and you can unlock Toon cards, which is an archetype that basically allows you to attack your opponents directly. Very cool. They're kind of strong, but they're also kind of super weak. You have to have some planning. They're kind of out now. They're not really as strong as they used to be. With Synchro and Fusion Summoning, they're just not as good. But it's very fun to fight him, fight the Toons, and this event goes on. Just last week, we had the Ultimate Evolution Tyranno Hasselberry event, which was really fun. You fight him, you earn like a currency, which lets you buy cards specifically that he uses so that you can build a dinosaur deck. after you beat him a bunch of times, it unlocks like a special event where he actually like turns into a dinosaur, and if you don't beat him within a certain amount of turns, he insta kills you, and the match is over. It only happened to me once, and I was so upset. I don't know what happened. I think I had it on auto duel because I was at work, and I was like watching it, and I was like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, and then I got wrecked. So. But these events are really cool. They give away cards. And it's just something to sort of distract you from the normal flow of the game. And they're always doing more. And there's actually 2 events. There was actually 3 events going on at one time last week. It was the game where you dive down a dungeon. And you just basically, like, as you duel, you unlock points, and a little Yugi, like, runs downward and just unlocks items for you. Premium currency, booster items, cards, money, all that shit. Then there was the bingo sheets, which is, like, complete certain missions, and you can unlock bingo, and it will give you premium currency and cards and all this stuff. There is literally always something to do in Duel Links. They aren't trying to take your money, which I really like. I mean, you could definitely spend money on this game. I joked with my wife that I would spend my entire paycheck on Duel Links, and I was like, would you divorce me? And she said no, she would just be very upset. So probably won't do that. But there's always something to do. It's very easy to learn. There is so much content in the game. There are 3 different worlds you can go into. Duel Monsters, GX, and 5Ds, both series of Yu-Gi-Oh!, both with their own characters, their own levels to level up, their own unlockable characters, their own cards, their own little background levels, their own music. Seriously, there is so much content in this mobile game that I would say it is the best mobile game out right now. They are not trying to take your money. I mean, they're just throwing money at you, sort of to emphasize. Like, sort of, obviously, they give you the money because they're expecting a return. But I haven't spent a single penny, and I am happy as a clam because I just keep unlocking premium currency as I'm playing, and it's wonderful. I would say, get it, and if you do get it, add me, man. Add me. I don't remember what my name is. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description. Get the game, add me. We can do friend duels, and we can just hang out and we can duel while we're chilling on the pooper. It'll be awesome. So Duel Links is definitely worth getting. It's a free download. It's free to play. It's fun as hell. It's addicting. Oh my God, is it addicting? It's fun to play against people. It's fun to play against the bots. I like making decks. I like looking at the cards. I like collecting cards. Every little thing about it is honestly an absolute pleasure. And I highly recommend it. And it's weird because I'm like so against mobile games for the most part, but this game's just like, it feels different, and it might be a little bit of nostalgia because I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but the amount of content, there's like 30 plus characters you can unlock, all with different abilities that are getting balanced and nerfed and buffed as the days go on because they're used in tournament play. You can use your skills against other players in tournaments, in ranked matches. So you design your decks around your characters, pick your favorite character. Like, oh, what, you want to play a plant character? Well, there's a plant character in 5Ds that is specifically built around using plants. And if that's your aesthetic, dude, Madolche monsters, it's cute little cupcake girls and dogs and stuff. It's adorable. I mean, there are so many, the art. I mean, thank God for Kazuki Takahashi. The dude, the OG, the dude that originally started Yu-Gi-Oh! I know he's probably not working on it anymore, but this game has so many different aesthetics and styles of play. I mean, you can have dinosaurs fighting robots, fighting UFOs, fighting snakes, fighting bugs. It's very, very fun, and I highly recommend it if you are in the mood for something that you can sink your time into, but also just play for 2 minutes a day. Log in, get your daily login bonus, play a few rounds while you're taking a poo, before you go to bed or when you get up and you're having your cup of coffee, while you're waiting for your boss to show up for your morning meeting or whatever. You could be playing around. We could play together. I would play around with you when we could, I don't know, duel each other. So I would say definitely play it. It's awesome. I honestly have no complaints. I mean, it's just fun as hell. So I would definitely recommend downloading it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it if you're into gaming mobilely. So thank you for listening. Thank you for starting your weekend with Level Die. If you made it to the end of the episode, I would love if you would like the video, subscribe. I come out with content every single week. Fridays, I come out with an episode, either a Neo, a Flux, or a regular one, depending on what week it is. I stream on twitch.tv/leveldie every Monday for a few hours a day, usually after I get off work and before I pick up my wife. Right now I'm playing Mortal Kombat. I'll play anything though. I have a bunch of games that I want to play that I'm enjoying playing, so I'd love if you would come hang out and watch that. Twitch.tv/leveldie. Content every week. I would really appreciate even if you don't want to like or subscribe or watch the Twitch, tell someone about this podcast. That would be awesome. If you enjoyed it, I would love to have you share it with someone. If you have any criticisms, comments, thoughts, concerns, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from anyone who listens. I know it's mostly people I know. And cheers to you guys. I really appreciate you guys making it through these episodes. You guys are really giving me something to do. I do this for fun, and I really enjoy it. So as long as one person listens to this podcast, I'm going to keep going. So thank you for listening. Thank you for starting your weekend with Level Die. Simply be despair, and I'll see you next time.